What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers. Join me here today to talk about the LSU Tigers out there in Baton Rouge and their team preview. Helping me out today is my guy from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, Jason McMinn, or as we always call him, Jay McLovin. Jay, how you doing, my friend? And how do you think the team out there in purple and gold is going to look this year? How is LSU going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Logan, as we're staying with the SEC theme, LSU has another rough schedule as well. They get Ole Miss, they get A&M, they get Bama, they get Oklahoma. Do you know who they don't get, Logan?
Who's that?
They don't get Texas, killer. Instantly enough. And they don't get Georgia instantly enough. But they do get Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma. I mean, those teams are going to play them. A&M's always going to play them tough, especially with Elko out there at A&M. So I expect to see some big-time games against this LSU team. I do have them winning about 9.5 games this season. I think they need at least 10 wins, honestly, to get into the playoffs. But I could see 9.5. The O-line is still great, should still be effective and efficient. The defense is mid-level at best, in my opinion, but they're not bad. They have a soft schedule. They have no Texas, no Tennessee, no Mizzou, no Georgia. So that's a good thing. But they do have to play Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma, and A&M, all of which in that division or in that region are going to want to play tough. I mean, A&M, LSU is right next door to Mississippi, Oklahoma, all that. So they're going to want to play them extremely tough. Brian Kelly is in his third season as coach. He went 10-3 last year, won their bowl game, 10th in the power rankings this year. They are ranked number 7 in the title or in the rankings. They get an 8% chance is what they're giving them to win the SEC, which I can understand that because Georgia's playing tough, Texas is playing tough. I mean, there's a lot of tough teams. Ole Miss will play tough. I mean, there's a lot of tough teams in that division that are going to put up a fight. So I do see there being some locking of the horns there. Brett Nussmeier flashed brilliancy last year. Obviously, I believe this is his first year, right, Logan? Because I think Jay Dan was there last year. So
yeah, this is his first year as a starter.
Yeah, so they're going to get a brand new quarterback over there. Strength of schedule is around the 21st. Can their quarterbacks cover? That's going to be the question for LSU. I think is in that secondary. So I'm going to give them the strength being the best tackles in the nation between Campbell and Jones. And the weakness, in my opinion, is their secondary. So the O-line is the strength. I got the secondary being the weakness. They lost the last 3 games of the season due to the secondary because they finished 92nd in coverage. And they haven't done anything to fix it. So I don't see anything better. So I got them finishing probably right at about 9.5 games on the win cycle.
Yeah, this team, man, I mean, obviously you're having to replace a Heisman winning quarterback in Jaden Daniels. So I will say, Jay, they have a bit of I don't know if I'd say an advantage perhaps, but with Nussmeier, as you said, he's someone who's been there for a couple of seasons. He's waited his time. He didn't leave. He didn't transfer. He's been sitting behind some really good quarterbacks here lately. And now's his time, Jay. He knows the system like the back of his hand, I'm sure. He could probably call out plays in his sleep. That's how much he knows the system, and with Brian Kelly and company. I think he has a good year overall, being his first full year as a starter, 4th year overall at LSU. And the rest of the team, the thing with this team, Jay, is just their defense. They got to do something about that defense. Like you said, they got rid of Matt House last year. They fired him because of how bad it was. They gave up 400-plus yards a game and 28 points per game. That's hard to win, man. And it's not going to get any easier this season. So
no, not at all.
No. So LSU, like you said, they got some good strengths. They got some they got some weaknesses they need to work on. I mean, this is a solid team, right? They're not going to be bottom barrel, just awful. But I think they're kind of stuck in that middle realm, right? They'll be good, but I don't know if they'll be great. They got some good opponents, as you mentioned. Obviously, USC kicking off. That's going to be a great one as always. Ole Miss is going to bring it, as you know. You got A&M, Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma to end the year out there. it's going to be a good matchup nonetheless because, like I said, it is some SEC football. It's going to be great, but I don't know if this team has it, man. I don't know if they can get over that hump with losing, just the amount of players that they've had,
Right.
all the talent. But like you said, you've got your guy Nussmeier there at quarterback. Josh Williams, expect him, and Caleb Jackson, the sophomore running back, to get some good work this year. And then we got to look at the wide receivers, Jay, because, my God, it feels like LSU's been wide receiver you in the last couple of years with all the amazing talent they've had. You got guys like Chris Holton, Kyron Lacey, Aaron Anderson as well. You got some interesting players like C.J. Daniels and, of course, Kyle Parker and Xavier Thomas to get out there and help out your team and become, wide receiver you as much as you can for that unit. But when I look at their defense, though, they got some decent players. Like I said, they got some solid players like Harold Perkins, who's a good overall player, like Ashton and Stamps. You're bringing in guys like Jordan Gilbert and PJ Woodland out there. And, of course, you got to get one of the best guys, the best names out there, Jay, and that's Major Burns. Got to have him out there and patrolling. So
yep.
I think this is a solid team, right? But I don't know, Jay. Is it maybe time to talk about Brian Kelly? His seat might be getting a little hot if they don't make it super far this year. Well, that's tough. I said, do you think that if they don't, exceed expectations and maybe get to an SEC championship or whatnot, you think Brian Kelly's seat might be getting hot this offseason?
Yeah, I definitely. Well, it'll be a little warm. I don't think it's going to be hot, but I think it'll be a little warm. He's coming off season with Jaden Daniels, but I think it is going to be a warm seat for him. How hot? I don't think it's going to be like firing hot if they don't win. If they don't win a national title, but he's going to have to finish, 1 or 2 losses and no more.
Yeah. Like I said, they went 10-3 last year. They had a good season. They won all their home games as well. So, obviously, you know how they're doing it out there. But I think that they might be around that 10-3 record they had last year. Maybe a 9-4 perhaps. But it's a rough one, man. Like I said, they got some good teams this year. The SEC is stronger than ever, I think, with all the talent they got. But Jay, hey, I appreciate it, my brother, coming on the show today. Talk about these LSU Tigers. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, if you like this team, if you like the Tigers, if you want to talk about how well you think they're going to do, drop a comment on Facebook and YouTube. And be sure to go download our podcast as well. Once again, for Jay McLevin, I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, we will talk to you again